Hey, let's talk about a revolution in Hungary. Now, Hungary is going to come under Soviet control using salami tactics. Remember salami tactics, where you're slowly, one by one, going to cut off opposition until there is no opposition left. You cut off the salami one by one until you've eaten the entire salami. Now, Matthias Rakoczki is going to become prime minister in 1949. He is that man right there, the Hungarian bald man. Looks a little bit like Mussolini. Now he's going to become a puppet of Stalin. Basically, whatever Stalin wants, Rakoczki is going to be doing. Then Stalin dies. Moscow is going to tell Hungary to replace Rakoczki. And there's a number of reasons for this, but the main one is that he's responsible for more than 100,000 political prisoners and worse. Okay, he just starts killing people. He rules a lot like Stalin does. Moscow, after Stalin dies, is kind of trying to fix things in this process of de-Stalinization. So they're going to get rid of him right through here. And they're going to replace him by Imre Nagy, which is this man you can see right here. He is a fierce critic of Stalinism. He does not like this cult of personality around Stalin. He doesn't like what Rakoczki is doing, and he's going to begin to implement a series of reforms in Hungary, initially right away. Then in 1955, Rakoczki is going to convince Khrushchev to put him back in power, and this is going to be effective. So Rakoczki is going to come back to power. But he's incredibly unpopular, probably because he had killed a bunch of people previously. They do not like him. The Hungarians are very, very opposed to this man ruling their country with an iron fist, and he's killed a ton of people in their country. They know that, and they don't want him in charge. So, understanding with him, though, he is fiercely opposed to Tito. He does not like Tito at all. He executes Tito supporters. This is problematic, especially for Khrushchev, who is now in charge of the Soviet Union, because Khrushchev wants to improve relations with Yugoslavia. He realizes that if one of his major power states that he's controlling within the Soviet bloc, his leader is shooting Titoites in the streets, that's going to hurt his possibility of really repairing relations with Yugoslavia. So he is going to replace him with Erno Garu in 1956. Now this man is also a Stalinist, which is something that Khrushchev doesn't particularly like, but at least he's not going to be shooting the Titoites in the street, which is really going to help you or hurt your possibility of, once again, aligning with Yugoslavia. Then, October 23rd, 1956, we're going to have a major student protest across Budapest, the capital of Hungary. These protesters are going to demand a series of different things. Number one, they demand democratic and economic reform. They do not like the Soviet rule. They want democratic reform and they want economic reform. They want Nagy as the prime minister once again, and they want the withdrawal of Soviet troops. Now, Garu is ordering the protesters to disperse because he does not like what their message is. Remember, he is a Stalinist. He does not like this message. So the Soviet troops are going to come in, tell them to leave. When the protesters do not leave, they're going to open fire upon them. Now, even moving forward, okay, the Hungarian Communist Party is going to bring back Nagy, and this is an attempt to appease the protesters. However, it is not very effective, and that's going to be leading to the Hungarian Revolution. The Soviets are going to negotiate with the protesters, and they're going to agree to disband the secret police and for the Soviet troops to leave Budapest. However, this is going to be a failed negotiation. It does not work. Nagy promises to end one-party rule and then restore democracy in Hungary. He's also going to demand that the Soviet troops are going to leave. Now, Nagy is a communist. However, he is recognizing kind of what's going on here. He believes that democracy should be happening in his country, and he wants the Soviets out. He is really the one that the protesters are kind of rallying behind. They want him to be in charge of the country. He wants Hungary as well to lead the Warsaw Pact. So he does not want the Soviets leading the Warsaw Pact. He wants Hungary to be leading the Warsaw Pact, and thus him to lead the Warsaw Pact. Now, the Soviets are going to be upset by the promise of abolishing one-party rule, and they're going to send troops to the border. And that's going to be really kind of the beginning of the end for the Hungarian Revolution. Nagy, at this point, is going to pull out of the Warsaw Pact, and he's going to try to act as a neutral state, much the same as Yugoslavia at this time period. Okay, remember after the Tito-Stalin split, Yugoslavia basically is like, yep, we're just going to be a third party. We're not going to really align with anyone at all. Then November 4th, the Soviet troops are going to invade. Nagy comes and he asks the Hungarians to resist, stand up and fight against the Soviets. And the Hungarians are actually fairly effective in their resistance up through here. As a result of this, you're going to have 2,500 Hungarians killed. Nagy is going to be arrested. He's going to be exported from the country. He's going to be brought in and then executed for treason in 1958. And lastly, there's going to be a large number of Hungarian refugees who flee Hungary into Western Europe at this time period. The last thing I want to talk about is the flag you can see here on the screen, and you saw it in the previous picture as well. This is going to be the symbol of the Hungarian Revolution. So what they did is they took the Hungary flag that in the middle had the communist logo. They do not like this, so they're going to cut it out, and they're going to fly the flag with the cutout in the middle. And this is a symbol of the Hungarian Revolution. So you would have seen this all the time during the Hungarian Revolution. They're literally trying to cut out communism from Hungary, cut out Soviet control of their country. If you have any questions, comments, put it down below. Otherwise, good luck.